judges, please welcome to the stage Dan the Snake Man.
Oh, not again. Been tripping all over the place since they gave me that electric Kool-Aid last night. Said it was some kind of a test. Still not sure if I passed, but as a result, I can't find my snake. Maybe you can help. Last thing I remember, I set her down on my pile of clothes, and I put my pants on and I got dressed for this show, and I haven't seen her since. Now where could she have gone? Well, my pants aren't fitting quite right, that's true. But she can't be in there. She's a boa constrictor, not a trouser snake. Wait, I think you're right. She is definitely in there. How am I gonna get her out? I think she's got to be in here somewhere. Oh, there she is. Oh, she doesn't want to come out.
She's shy.
She's a little bit shy. Snakes do like to hide. Oh, there she is. I found her. Thank you. I knew that I could find her with your help. Please welcome Chi, the Colombian red-tailed boa constrictor. Welcome to the mystical, magical, magnifical world of the magnificent creatures known today as serpents, or as we actually call them, snakes. Whew, that was a mouthful. Speaking of mouthfuls, did you know that snakes can unhinge the... We'll get to that later. My name is Daniel Hoftelling, PhD in being a weenie, according to my son. But never mind that. What is up with people thinking that snakes are out to get them? I mean, some do have potent venom. This is a very serious matter if you live in Africa or India, but not in the United States. Let's look at this from a distance now. In the United States, about 1 in 50 million people will die of snake bite. 9 times more people will die via being struck by lightning, and that's not even the shocking part. About 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 people per year will die in the United States from snake bite, while people end up choking to death over 2,500 times every year. You are a bigger threat to yourself than snakes are to you. Snakes, scary. Lollipops, deadly. Be careful with that thing. Might bite. As you learned today, snakes are not as dangerous as they're made out to be. They actually help humans, and as a mature society, we should learn to set aside our unfounded fears and embrace all of the beautiful things that the earth has to offer, including snakes. And in Oregon, we're very lucky because the only venomous snake, the only deadly venomous snake that we have is very easy to recognize because from the time it's born, it has a rattle on the end of its tail. Now, many other types of snakes actually look like the rattlesnake, but they're born with a very sharp point on their tail. From the time the rattlesnake's born, he has one of those tiny segments that you see, but every time he sheds his skin about 4 to 8 times per year, he gets a new segment on that rattle, and eventually it'll look long like the one you see here. But when they're born, they do have a rattle, and their tail is not a sharp point. So they're very easy to recognize if you live in Oregon. So if you do see a rattlesnake, are they always going to rattle when they're scared? No. Snakes do not always rattle. They would much rather use their fancy camouflage and hide. And just look at this beautiful creature, bringing beauty and joy to our lives with her sun yellow hair and her emerald green eyes. This is my lovely assistant and spiritual partner, Saley. Ooh, and that snake. Chi, the unlimited life force of the universe, often symbolized as a snake. And today is a very special time in Chi's life, where she has indicated that she is ready to mature into her larger, more colorful form. Scientists would tell you that she is yellow because she has a deformity called amelanism that is often mistaken for albino, but I know the real reason that she is looking so pale. She has been hiding in this half form from all of the fears and the misconceptions that are held by us humans. So today, it's a very special time for our species too. This is very important to understand. Today, if we can let go of our unfounded fears, then Chi will transform. But if we can't, then today, Chi will die. We're not going to let that happen, right? Can we do that? Can we get over our unfounded fears and embrace all of the beautiful mysteries of the universe? Yeah! Are we ready? Yeah! Me too. Mind you that the mysteries of the universe are universal, so the only way to unravel a universal mystery is to present yet another mystery. It is known that 1/3 of all humans suffer from ophidiophobia, the exaggerated fear of snakes. Now I've carefully calculated that fear is in direct proportion to experience. Someone with a lot of experience has very little fear. I, for one, have an ungodly amount of experience with snakes. I've handled cobras and rattlesnakes, baboon vipers, giant pythons. Therefore, I have very little fear of them. Somebody with less experience with snakes may have more fear. Go ahead and look at these ropes to make sure that they are ordinary ropes. Hand them back to me, starting at with the long rope. Now, if fear is in direct proportion to experience, it's very easy to calculate that the best way to get over an unfounded fear is to experience your fear in a safe environment. It's a good thing that we have each other. I can share my experience with you. Now the medium-sized rope. Now see, you've shared your experience with me. And we can all share with each other. You know, like the 70s. Now watch as it all comes out equal. We all shared what we know with each other. We shared our experience, what we've learned about the world, even if it's different than what we're used to or what we're totally comfortable with. We all now equally carry this burden. Of course, thank you. These ropes are no substitute for reality. I haven't really shared much at all, just small talk. What really needs to happen for you to get over your fears is for you to experience holding a snake in real life. How about a baby rattler?
No.
Baby rattler? You like that? I also could let you hold a rubber boa, who happens to be a gardener snake. Oh, that's right. There's no such thing as a gardener snake. It's actually called a garter snake. Children, ask your parents. So I really do want to let some of you experience holding a real snake. So I brought a sand boa for you to hold. Usually hangs out here in the sand. So out of the sand comes a boa. Sand boa. No, really, for real, not lying. I do want to let you hold a sand boa, and she usually hangs out inside this bag. Unfortunately, it has a trap door, a portal to the other side of the bag. It's not good if you're trying to keep a snake in there. Oh well, maybe we should just bag it. Or, does there happen to be any Potter heads in the house? No, pipe down, Doug. I said Potter heads. You know, as in Harry Potter? Maybe we can recite one of those fancy spells to help us manifest the snake into this bag. Now, how did that go? Something like, expand your mammoth. No, that's not it. How about hippopotamus? No, that's not it either. It had something to do with the word serpent, which is a scientific word for snake. Oh yeah, that's right. Serpent sortia, coming to us all the way from Africa. Not really, she was born in a pet store in Roseburg, but her ancestors were definitely from Africa. Serenity, the Kenyan sand boa. Is a very interesting snake that spends most of its life underground. Yeah, they totally dig it there. And I'm sure she would totally dig it if I were to let one of you hold her right now. I need one volunteer for this experiment. How about you? Now, parents, not to worry. This is a totally harmless snake. It's one of the 80%. Can you get up here? Just kind of jump right up. Use some of those acrobatic skills you learned over on the field stage. She's one of the 80% of all snakes in the world that are completely non-venomous. They can't hurt you if they tried. If she were to bite, it would be less than getting pricked by the thorn of a beautiful rose. Can you believe some people are scared of that? Why they let dogs with giant teeth around their children? Doesn't make any sense. You can think about it. So you can hold her. There's no fear in this. The worst thing that could happen is you could drop her and she could get hurt. But so as long as you don't drop her, then the snake will be safe. Nothing to fear. And as you can see, she's very calm, very nice snake. Boas are usually this way. So if you like, you can take her and you can stick her on top of your head. Serenity always reminds me of how serene snakes are. They don't want to have to waste energy in biting to defend themselves. They're much more like magicians. They would rather trick their predators. For instance, Serenity is a real butthead. Now really, that's her defense from predators. She has a tail that looks very similar to her head. When she senses danger, she buries her head in the sand and waves her tough little tail in the air. Another common trick that snakes use, thank you, did an excellent job. A round of applause for our volunteer. Another common trick that snakes use to avoid having to bite is called mimicry.
Mimicry.
But before I can teach you about mimicry. Mimicry actually means when somebody keeps copying you and they won't stop copying you when you're trying to get on with the show.
I'm trying to get on with the show.
Minutes.
It's only 35 minutes.
So that before I can talk about mimicry, she needs to stop copying me, and I will teach you a magic trick. But magic lessons are $150 per hour. Please place your money inside this basket by the end of the show. Go ahead and pass this around. Okay, Serenity being a sand boa, very, very easy to do this trick. All you have to do is place her head into the sand and watch as she disappears. Disappears. Yeah, they totally dig it underground. They dig in the sand to find their food. They live in holes that they dig out from under rocks and logs. Because they're a sand boa, we'll just place them in the sand and watch as she disappears. How about that, folks? This is a drawing of a deadly venomous coral snake. Deadly venomous if they bite, but they hardly ever do. The trick that they use to get out from having to bite is they display these bright red and yellow colors to warn their predators that they're dangerous. These colors work so well at deterring danger that several species of non-venomous snakes will actually copy the coral snake by displaying the exact same colors. That way their predators think that they are a deadly venomous coral snake when in fact they are a harmless mimic. So here is a picture of a milk snake. Not sure if there's a chocolate milk snake, but that would be delicious. No wait, snakes are friends, not food. So I bet you thought that maybe these were just two coral snakes. It's all very tricky, so I have a saying that I'll teach you to help you differentiate between the deadly venomous coral snake and its harmless mimics. Just remember that this saying only works if you're in the United States. If you go to Central or South America, you're on your own. I need one volunteer to help me with this next experiment. How about you? As the saying goes, red touches yellow will kill a fellow, and red touching black is a friend to Jack. So I'll take the first part and you say the second. Red touching yellow will kill a fellow. Jack. As a friend, I know that's not your name, but let's just pretend. Red touching yellow will kill a fellow. Excellent. Now we'll trade. You get the first part. Make sure we get both ends of this saying. So you say, and red touching black is a friend to Jack. Okay, I think you got the idea. Now let's see if you can perform under pressure. I have here magic snake oil. Cures everything I hear, but do you know what else it does? Also burns very hot.
Noah, you have to sit down.
Go ahead and feel.
I don't want to.
Now quick, tell me. Coral snake or milk snake? Coral snake or milk snake? Milk snake. Excellent. Give her a round of applause. Correctly identifying the snake under pressure. This is in fact my pet milk snake named Coral, not a coral snake named Milky. That would just be confusing. And she's kind of a squirmy snake, so as she moves around, you can put her up on your shoulder, let her go inside your sleeve, whatever you want to do. Should just let her keep going, just keep taking her head and putting it somewhere supported, and she'll enjoy that. Saley might be able to help you using that ring, too. Coral, is her name, is a milk snake in the same family as king snakes, which have that name because they actually eat other snakes, including rattlesnakes. Now, most snakes don't eat other snakes. What do people with ophidiophobia think that snakes eat? Well, kittens, puppies, small children, but they usually stick to birds, worms, insects, lizards, and rodents. My snakes at home eat mice and rats. I offer them country fair fudge, but they always refuse. Can you believe that? They refuse fudge and eat rats? Guess they're just doing their part to help humans. I mean, snakes are constantly doing us favors that we don't even notice. I'll explain. If two mice were to get together, and there were no snakes there to eat their babies, in a little over a year you would have over 1 million mice. Mice getting together. 2 in a year would be over 1 million. So the 1 million mice wouldn't have anything to eat. They would have to go into your cupboards and eat all of your food, make nests in your bed, and spread diseases like the plague. Luckily, we have snakes like Coral who will eat mice. A snake the size of Coral could eat a full-grown mouse in one swallow. Isn't that amazing? That would be like you or I swallowing this chicken whole. I need one volunteer to help me with this experiment. How about you with the purple hat?
Yeah.
What's your name? I didn't quite get that. What was that? A what? What was that? Oh, never mind. Please welcome to the stage person who's going to help us demonstrate how a snake can eat a full meal in one bite by swallowing this chicken whole. Oh, I don't think Chicken likes this idea. He's just being a chicken. We'll use these emotionless metal rings instead. At least they can't cry foul. Okay, I'll be the mouse and you be the snake. No wait, that might not turn out too well for me. It's just a little rain, we're used to it here. You get wet, you get dry, it's fine. So I'll be the snake and you be the mouse. That's much safer for me. So go ahead and hold your mouse like this, nice and tight. Here comes the snake. The snake is unhinging its jaw. The skin is stretching out. And the snake devours the entire mouse. The snake and the mouse are now forever connected as one. In fact, all life on Earth is connected in this magical way. Thank you very much. The food chain demonstrates these connections. You've already seen that the snake eats the mouse, but the mouse eats flower seeds, and the flowers eat feces. I did say all life on Earth is connected. You do know what feces is, don't you? It's a scientific word for, you know, poo, poop, defecation, making a cake. Doesn't matter what you call it. I know it's a little crude, but it is true that all of the animals, feces, and all the plants deteriorating go into the earth and turn into soil, which along with sunlight is what the flowers eat. So where does the feces in this case come from? Well, about a week after the snake eats the mouse, he goes to the little mice's room, or the little snake's room, and I'm not going to explain that part. I'm sure you guys will see the connection. Now, when you start to see these types of connections, you can sit in a swing and cellamella and just imagine all of these beautiful connections all around the world. And when you start to see all of these connections as a whole, you will realize that we as humans play the most important role. We're the only species on Earth that can create or destroy these beautiful connections. It's up to us and the choices that we make so that we can continue to watch the flowers bloom. And of course, what eats the flower seeds? The mice. And the snake eats the mouse, turns it into feces, which feeds the flowers and feeds the mice, and the cycle will continue, but it is up to you and me to make the right choices to preserve the natural cycles of nature. And now that you understand the important role that snakes play in our world, I can talk once again about venomous snakes. We already talked about what happens if you get bit by a non-venomous snake. It's not really bad at all. But venomous snakes have venom glands inside of their head and a venom delivery mechanism that includes very sharp fangs that act like syringes delivering potent venom into the veins of their prey. Now, that should be enough to make you watch your step while you're out hiking or camping, because remember, what do snakes really want to do? They just want to hide. Now I need one last volunteer for this final experiment. How about you, sir, with the devil horns? Maybe you're a fawn? Fawn, probably a fawn. I don't know the correct terminology for what all these things are. All right. So you can be trusted, right? All right. But you look like you were a pretty trustworthy kid. What's your name? Taba? Yeah, I think you could be trusted. If your name was Jack or Jill, I don't trust you, but... Yeah, watch out for that guy. Alright, let me try that again. Trim the end. Trying to make a snake for you to encounter in the wild. But they're a little bit hard to find sometimes. People who live around snakes could spend their whole life if they never get outside and not ever find a snake. But there we have it. So, you did say you can be trusted, right? Alright. You do know that scissors do kill about 146 people per year, right? I just made that up, but it's actually true that this is the most dangerous part of my show, giving sharp scissors to a volunteer. Okay, so we're gonna pretend like this is a rattlesnake. You're out hiking in the woods, maybe in eastern Oregon or down towards Glendale, where there are more rattlesnakes than the rest of the state, and you see a rattlesnake coiling up. So a lot of fearful people would want that snake dead. So go ahead and just chop it in half. And it's also true that even after snakes are dead, they do still have reflexes and they can still bite. So go ahead and cut off its head. Good. Well, I guess that's good. I mean, I thought you said you could be trusted. And then you went and did that to a snake. That's not what you're supposed to do. It's not the whole point of the show. Look at Chi, she's still yellow. You're just watching things happen like you chopped this snake in half. That's okay, I'll give you a chance to redeem yourself. Don't worry, Chi, I'm a magician. I'll just go ahead and magically repair this snake. Ta-da! Of course, she's not going to be able to help us eat any mice or rats like that big knot in her stomach. Go ahead and trim up those ends for me. Yeah, she's not going to be able to digest anything like that. Why don't you go ahead and take the end of this rope. You take the end of this one. We'll get some magic wiffle dust, and we'll make that knot disappear. Thus, leaving a snake that can do its part to help humans by eating mice and rats. And a big round of applause for our volunteer who has redeemed himself and now is ready to show us what you do when you see a real rattlesnake. Go ahead and take a step back and stand right here. Not done with you yet. Are you really going to take out a rattlesnake while there's a volunteer on stage? Maybe I'm a magician and it's not really a rattlesnake. Really? No, it's a real rattlesnake, but maybe I've done a specialized surgery called a venom ductectomy that ties off the venom ducts, thus minimally invasively rendering the snake harmless to humans. So the snake is made to be harmless, but it's still a rattlesnake. Isn't that a little bit too edgy for the Oregon Country Fair? I mean, this isn't Burning Man. You know what? This is the Oregon Country Fair, and as our society progresses, we're ready for more and more of the reality that real life brings us. So I think they are ready. I think you're right. So there it is, a real, live, venomous snake. It happens to be fixed, but that doesn't change how it acts. So your biggest fear is happening right now. Just take a moment. Just take one moment at a time, not fearing what might happen next, just look what is happening right now. As you can plainly see, this rattlesnake is not mean. Maybe he just doesn't want to be stepped on, so he would bite if I get too close. Maybe. But they do strike very quickly, more quickly than you can pull away. So you don't want to get close to a snake. You want to stay about 6 feet away from any wild snake that you see until you know for sure what type of snake it is. But if you were that size, I mean, you can't really blame the snake for biting. You probably wouldn't want to get stepped on either, right? Right. So what you do when you see a real snake in the wild, like you're seeing right now, so just go along, when you're walking along a trail, you look up, you're watching your step, and you see a rattlesnake. Now, are you going to try to move that snake to take it away from the trail where it's hunting its food so that it can help you keep control of the rodent populations? Or do you think we should try to just leave it there? We should leave it there. A lot of people get bit trying to move the snake. Snakes have a pretty large range, so even if you move it away, I mean, it's probably going to go away in a day anyway. You might just want to note where the snake is, tell everybody around to just kind of watch their step around it, as they should be doing anyway. So if you see a snake in the wild, you do just what he's done. You're walking along, you see the snake, and you just stop. You take that moment to see what's happening, not fearing what might happen next, and then just slowly and calmly take a step back away from the snake, so that you know you're far enough away, and then simply walk around the snake on your way back to your seat. How about a round of applause for this sir redeeming himself, showing what to do when you see a real rattlesnake in the wild. They always have that look on their face. They can't make any facial expressions, but she's actually smiling at you right now. Okay, folks, that's about all the time I have for today.
Dan.
Oh, yeah? Oh, gee. She's still looking very pale, but we did so well. I thought that everybody learned to embrace all of the things that they don't fully understand and maybe experience things before they put judgment on them, but she's still looking pale. Maybe we were too late. I guess we'll have to put her down into her final resting place. Don't worry, this is a great place for her to spend her final days. So, nice and dark, just the way snakes like it. So we'll say our final goodbye and let her go down to rest. Or, unless we can convince her that we actually do love snakes, don't we? Let's try to do that. Everybody clap your hands and say, I believe in fairies. No, wait. That's Peter Pan. Try this one. Clap your hands and say with me, I love snakes. I love snakes. I love snakes. Go ahead, put her in.
I love snakes.
I think it's working.
I love snakes.
Yeah, I think it's working.
I love snakes.
Look at that. She's changing color. She's growing into her larger, more healthy self. Just like our society is about to do, embrace things that it never before was comfortable with. Give yourselves a round of applause, overcoming your unfounded fears and your misconceptions so that she can mature and embrace all of us children. Okay, I know today's show may have been intense for some of you, but I hope that at least you've learned that you can experience things that are outside of your ordinary. Just take somebody along that has more experience and enjoy the ride. Ladies and gentlemen, enjoy the Oregon Country Fair.